In quantitative analysis, you can say that after conducting a research, you can say that the strength of this brick can be taken as 12 Newton per mm square. Strength of these bricks can be taken as 12 Newton per mm square. But here you do not come with some numbers. There is subjective. So the interpretation of data is highly dependent on the perspective of the researcher. If the researcher himself has suffered some harassment at work, then he would highlight the harassment in his conclusions much more than he should have. So, in an interview study on workplace stress, a researcher with preconceived notions may unconsciously focus on negative responses. Also, qualitative data analysis is very time consuming and labor intensive. Suppose there are 50 interviews, there is a transcript. So you have to read each and every interview, do a lot of rereading of the transcripts, and then you have to assign codes to different text or sentences, and after that an analysis can be carried out. So it requires a lot of time and effort. For example, a thematic analysis of 50 in-depth interviews could take weeks or even months. Limited generalizability. Obviously, you cannot generalize the findings. Maybe findings of a study of mental health in university students from one college may not represent students across different institutions. For example, a study of mental health of IIT students cannot be compared with the study on the mental health of maybe some private institute or a private university where the stress is supposed to be little less. It is a fact. The stress is a lot lesser there. So if a study on mental health has to be conducted, you cannot generalize the results of the study that has been carried out in an IIT Bombay, for example, with a private university, which I do not want to name. Some of the universities, they do not give a lot of stress to their students for good or bad. Anyway, so these are the limitations of certain limitations of QT. Then there are ethical and confidentiality concerns. Qualitative research involves sensitive personal experiences that require ethical considerations. For example, a study on rape survivors requires strict confidentiality to protect participants. Okay, if the participants do not want their name to be disclosed, it should not be disclosed. In the case of rape survivor, it is a law that their name should not be disclosed. So there are ethical and confidentiality concerns in qualitative data analysis. Lack of statistical rigor. So there is not much statistic involved in qualitative data research. Qualitative findings lack numerical validation, making it harder to measure reliability. Whereas reliability is inherent in quantitative research. When we say that this population of bricks has a strength of 12 Newton per mm square, then you assign a probability that the strength will not be less than 11.5. The probability of strength not less than 11.5 is 95%. So that type of reliability is assigned in quantitative research, which is not the case here in qualitative research. So narrative analysis of patient experiences with chronic illness provides deep insights but cannot be quantified. So we have come to the final thoughts now. Despite several limitations, qualitative research is an important tool for exploring complex social behaviors and human experiences. Researchers can enhance validity of their research by using multiple data sources, ensuring transparency, and combining qualitative with quantitative methods, if possible, if the data is there. These are some of the books that the participants can have a look at. They want to go into detail. And there is a very good paper by Braun and Clark. So that paper can also be read. And there is a book also, a practical guide, thematic analysis. Creswell and Poth, there is a book, quantitative inquiry and research design. And then there is Tracy S.J., qualitative research methods. Okay, so just wanted to suggest some books. So I have these 3 books that I want to suggest. And this is the last slide. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure we all are motivated to do more research. We got several ideas from the presentation of Professor Sharif, and I'm sure many of the doubts we had in our mind, we are more clear about many aspects of research. So, if any participant would like to ask a question, I can see one question in the chat box. You spoke about work-life balance. So my colleague from St. Xavier's College of Management and Technology is asking, what is the optimum working hours for an academic according to you, sir?
See, actually, an academic has to take up teaching as well as research. See, now as per UGC guidelines, a professor is asked to teach only for 16 hours a week. 16 hours a week. The rest of the time is there to devote to some official duties. Maybe sometimes people have administrative duties, or they have to conduct some research. They have to conduct some research. So I think the number of hours that are available to you are more than enough. One should not be working on weekends if one is working sincerely during the weekdays. So total number of hours, 6 or 7 hours a day is enough. Because you see, the type of work we do requires a lot of mental stress. Causes a lot of mental stress. It's not something like you do some donkey work, keep on doing it. You have to think and work and read. So I would not suggest more than 6 or 7 hours a day. I don't believe in the fact that Narayan Murthy says